Hi guys, and welcome to Coffee Chats with Miss Liz. I'm your host, Miss Liz, and this is a podcast all about faith, family, and coffee. This podcast is just like sitting down across the table from your friend, sharing a cup of coffee, and just talking about your day. There is no structure, there is no expectations, it's just a coffee chat. So grab your coffee and let's jump in. Hi guys, Miss Liz here. This episode I wanted to touch base on starting homeschooling and maybe some myths behind homeschooling. So I'll just, start with how I normally start this, with the coffee that I'm drinking right now. I'm not. This is my coffee from Friday that I never got to finish. There's still some in there. Left it out here all weekend. So that's gonna have to go inside and get washed. I did have a cup of coffee this morning. So what I'm gonna start doing, I think, is I'm gonna drink my coffee in the morning. I'm gonna wake up early, make my coffee, and drink it in the morning before all the kids get here. Because what I'm struggling with is that I don't drink my coffee until all the kids get here. So then I'm just drinking coffee all morning and I'm never drinking water. So I decided this morning I actually made myself a latte, which I haven't done in a long time, and I did use almond milk, and I just sprinkled a little bit of just cinnamon, no sugar or anything, just a little cinnamon on top, and it was so good. And I was able to drink all of that. And what I really like to do in the morning is I like to sit down and do these word puzzles on my phone from the New York Times. Not sponsored, but I do it. I do them every morning. There's this spelling bee, a crossword, Wordle, connections, and strands. And so I got to drink my coffee and do my puzzles in the morning, and that was so nice. And then I finished my coffee and I was able to get up and get ready and everything before the kids woke up. So that went very well for us this morning. And then when I got downstairs, I started pouring myself some water. This is the second one I started today, and these are 12 ounce, right? Yeah, 12 ounce mason jars. You guys can see 12 ounce, and I just fill it all the way up, and that's what I drink the rest of the day. Occasionally I might drink something else, like a poppy or something like that, but I'm trying to stick with water because I ended up, and I talked about this on another episode, but I ended up getting a really bad UTI that I just could not clear up. And honestly, I started to feel like I had that again. And I was like, this is awful. Another thing was that my teeth, didn't realize how bad they were until I started recording videos to go along with my podcast. I had to switch toothpaste for a while, or not for a while, permanently, because after I had my second child, I had to go to the dentist to get a tooth fixed because it had broken. And I hadn't been taking care of it, so I finally, it was finally hurting so bad that I just needed to go get it taken care of. And they ended up having to pull a wisdom tooth in the back that I never got taken care of. I had another wisdom tooth up top, and then I had a molar back there that had broken. So they had to pull all those teeth. And then they told me that I had periodontal disease, and I was like, great, that's wonderful. And it's all solely because I don't go and get normal teeth cleaning. I should. I wish I did. I don't. This right here is driving me nuts too. My little horns. This is what happens after you've had kids, is your hair falls out. and then it grows back, and now it's shorter than the rest of my hair. Drives me nuts. I always have to spray hairspray on it, but I didn't this morning. Because who's seeing me? The kids? They don't care. They don't care what my hair looks like. Anyways, so I had to switch, and I started using Parodontax, I think. And so I'm using Parodontax, and it does not have like a whitening agent in it. So I've been using that for like a year. So all these coffee stains are on my teeth, and I just didn't really realize it because I'm like stuck downstairs with the kids all the time, and they never say anything. And you know, I just didn't do anything about it. And now I'm like, ew. I really think that they look a little bit worse right now because I have my phone propped up on this green bubble jar here because I'm waiting for my tripod to come in. So I think that there's like also like a shining off of it, so they don't look as bad as I thought. But yeah, down here they look a little bit more green from the jug. So maybe I should prop it up somewhere else because not nearly as bad up here. Whatever, this is what I get. This over here like that. I did just order a new mic and a little tripod, so that will be much better. So to talk about starting homeschooling without spending a ton of money, that's what I really wanted to talk about today. And no. Oh, you're such a bad boy. He's such a bad boy. That's Benjamin. Such a bad boy. Constantly interrupted. I'm about to be interrupted again. Like, no, Benjamin. He likes to crawl under everything and then get stuck behind the grill and then play with like the grease trap. Woo! Drives me crazy. I have so much stuff blocking it, and he still manages to get through. On a different note, I also have a sand table out there. It's like a water table, but I put sand in it, and you know, I left it out because like whatever. Well, now it's full of water, and the kids won't stop playing with it, and it's too heavy for me to move, so that's fun. Anyway, so what I think everyone thinks is that if you want to homeschool, you have to spend a ton of money to do it, and I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. All right, I'm going to start off by telling you guys some of the things that I did buy when I first started doing homeschooling with my kids. I bought the Good and the Beautiful curriculum. That's where we kind of started off. I bought the preschool bundle, and it came with like everything that you need to teach your children for a whole year. And it only costed, I think, $75 after shipping and tax, right? That's not bad to me. It came with the book, which is an open and go book. You just open it up and you read what it says to your kids. That's it. The only things that you might need are like a feather or some buttons or little trinkets or like a little piece of food, or that's it. Maybe some pennies. I think we've had to use pennies before, which who doesn't have a whole jar of pennies laying around, or anything really? I mean, if you didn't use pennies, you could probably use something else, but you would have to change the wording around a little bit, you know. And we've had to do that before because I didn't have like a feather when I did this with my daughter. I didn't have a feather, and so I just went and I used her pencil, and I just changed the wording to pencil. Or if it said like dust something in the book, right? Like I think something in the book said use the feather to dust. I have no idea what I'm stepping in, but something is soaking wet. Anyways, it said like dust the king's possessions or whatever. So they had to take the feather and dust it. So what I did was I took a tissue and I said, dust it with the rag, dust it with the tissue, you know, and it worked just the same. It's just fine. You just have to be creative, right? Anyways, that's what I bought when I first started. No, thank you. Do not come up here. Thank you. I can see it from here. It's huge. It's a very big leaf. Yeah, so the other thing that I bought was a crayon box. I bought a crayon box and I filled it with art supplies that she would need throughout the year. The art supplies that I put in it were a box of crayons, a box of colored pencils, and a box of skinny markers, and a pair of scissors and 2 glue sticks. That was it. Okay? Then, so that all costed, like, depending on when you buy it, $20, like, not much at all. Okay? So then, after that, what else did I buy? I decided to start doing some... Okay, well, yeah, I decided to do some of the classical conversations because my nephews were doing that. My sister-in-law was doing classical conversations with her kids, and they were coming here a couple of days a week, and she was asking me to do it on those days, which was fine. So we started doing that. So I bought the Classical Conversations Foundations book that tells you everything that you need to do. I also bought a tin whistle. I bought, I don't know. Listen, I bought so much stuff. I bought calendars and posters of the walls. I bought, I mean, so much. Let's see. I went and bought a ton of material from Driven by Grace, which was all of these books on the Bible. I bought a ton of stuff from Devoted to Littles, which was like review books, worksheets, all that kind of stuff. I bought music to go along with the curriculum for Classical Conversations. I bought books and books and books and books. Lots and lots of books. I mean, every time the curriculum was something new, it was like, oh, these are some good books to incorporate. I bought them. I bought a children's Bible. I bought some subscriptions like to Angel Studios, to Minnow. I bought, what else? Gosh, I bought a desk for my daughter. I bought every single science book that the Good and Beautiful had. I bought the math curriculum for kindergarten for my daughter. Yeah, I don't know. There was so much. So, oh, I also bought a bunch of stuff from Tuttle Twins, a bunch of board books and things like that from the Good and the Beautiful. I've probably spent $300 like multiple times just on stuff from them because their books are great, right? So yeah. What I would recommend actually buying is none of that. Half of the books that I've bought are sitting on the shelf. I don't know. So this is what I would have bought if I knew better, right? I would have bought the preschool curriculum, and I would have bought the crayon box. And if I wanted to, okay, so for the age that she was at, which was 3 at the time, she was 3 turning 4, I would have just bought the Good and the Beautiful preschool bundle and then the crayon box, and that was it. That would have been all that I would have done, because she wasn't, oh, you know what, I also bought the handwriting book, like doodles for littles or something like that. It was fine, but I feel like she would have done better if I waited a little longer. So in all reality, for her age at the time, which was 3 going on 4 almost, I would have just bought the preschool bundle and then the crayon box and called it good for that year. And then for her second year of preschool, I would have gone a little bit deeper. So if you're starting out at that age, I would say $100 to start doing this. And if you have all of the like art supplies and stuff already, like just around your house, like a box of crayons or something and a pencil, that's really all you need. So I say that you could do it all for just $75 and then go to the library and get books to look at together instead. That would save you so much more money. So the first myth that I would talk about is that homeschooling is too much money to start off with. It's not. You just have to use you have to find the deals, right? So I just realized that my phone is like sitting in direct sunlight. That's better. So anyways, if your child is older than preschool and you have a printer at home, or you can make it to the library to print this stuff off, the Good and the Beautiful is awesome because it offers free curriculum. So if you can print it yourself, you can just print it and do it, and it's fine. Like the language arts and math are free, which is so cool. It's so cool to me because those are the most important things to start off with. So if you needed a little bit of time to maybe save up some money to buy, I don't know, a science curriculum or a history curriculum if your kids are a little bit older, because the history doesn't really start until about 3rd grade. That's free. That's free. All you need is art supplies, and not even really anything crazy. All you need is a pencil and maybe some crayons or whatever you have laying around the house. I mean, there was one time when we were upstairs and I had all the kids downstairs sleeping and I didn't have anything upstairs. So you know what I let her use? My highlighters from my Bible. Like, who cares? It does not have to be perfect ever. And that goes the same for the handwriting books. I think the handwriting books, if you want the PDF to print off, it's I don't know, like $10 or something like that. Like, it's very inexpensive. So I would definitely look into that. The Good and the Beautiful is a great way to get your foot in the door and see if this is like something that you want to do, right? It's a good thing to start off with. And I love that it takes all the guesswork out of what I have to even say, because for the first year and a half that I was doing this, I was making my own curriculum, my own lesson plans, and it was like I was burnt out. I was so burnt out. Even though it was preschool stuff, I was still burnt out. Like, I was constantly cutting, constantly laminating. Like, it wouldn't have been it was never this bad when I worked at a daycare and had to do this, because like I didn't also have to go back home and take care of my kids because I was, much younger, before kids. So I could take my work home and do it, and it wasn't so bad. And like all the kids always napped, so I just did it at nap time because I didn't have to also go upstairs and clean my house or take care of non-napping kids because those kids were in a different class, you know what I mean? So it was just like too much. I was extremely burnt out. Just realized how dirty my classes are. So that's the first myth, is it's too expensive. The second one is I don't think I could ever teach my kids. Like, I would get tired of it. They don't listen to me, blah, blah, blah. It's not true. Seriously. I do have eyebrows. Just doesn't look like it. This recording my podcast on a video is extremely humbling to me. Anyways, I've heard so many times from people that they couldn't teach, they just couldn't do it. And that's the one nice thing about The Good and the Beautiful. It literally, you open that book and you read it word for word, what's going on in the book, and it teaches the kids. It literally says, now read this to the child. And then you read it and it says something like, look at the picture below. Isn't it a beautiful picture? I kid you not. That is what it says. Like, it tells you exactly what to say. And it tells you exactly what to do. It'll be like, in purple, tell the child, it'll say, like, in purple letters, it'll say, now tell the child to cut out this or circle this, or, you know, so simple. It has taken out any guesswork of what I would ever have to say. Which makes life so much easier. So much easier. What else? What other myths are there? Because I can't even think of anything else right now. The main ones are, I can't teach my kids and it's too expensive. Like, it's not. Oh, the other one is, my kids aren't socialized. Do your kids go to church? Do they go into a classroom on Sundays and sit around other kids? Do your kids have cousins? Do your neighbors have kids? Do you go to the park? Do you, I don't know, go to the library? Do you go and do things with your kids, like out in public? They're getting socialized. My food for thought is, 100 years ago, what did they do? They weren't, I mean, like, I don't know, they weren't really like sending their kids to school to socialize them. They were mostly hanging out with their siblings or their cousins, or, you know, just exploring the world. They weren't like making sure that they're being socialized. I don't know. It just seems silly to me, I guess. But if you are super concerned about that, the nice thing about Classical Conversations is that they do have a co-op day. So if money isn't really an issue for you, you can pay to join the co-op, which the money goes to things that your co-op is doing. So like any supplies, the renting of the building, the like electricity of the building, the I don't know, anything that goes into renting the building, right? Like, most of the money goes to that. Maybe the director might get some money. I don't really know. I don't really care, because if she is getting some of that money, she should get some of that money, because she is orchestrating this co-op day. And the kids all get together and they do like a day where they sit down at the table. The parents have to stay there, and they all just kind of, so let me back it up for a second. I have never joined a co-op, okay? I personally feel like I don't need to join a co-op because I run the daycare. So I'm fine with it. Like, it's okay. I think it's a great thing for people who maybe have one child, or maybe even 2 children or 3. I don't care. Like, however many children, I think it's great. You can go there and you can get some assistance on and learn how to teach this. That's what the co-op day mainly is the parents come, they sit down, and their kids go to the table and they sit down and they learn from a tutor there. And it's like a little group setting, and the groups are small, and that tutor kind of goes through and teaches the kids quickly, and the parents sit there and they take notes, and they kind of learn how to teach their kids this too. And then they go home and they teach their kids. Okay. And then they do a snack together, and then they do a show and tell, which is so good. So good. It kind of gives them the confidence to talk in front of people, it is very nice. Then they get to have lunch, and then like a recess where they get to all like play together, if they choose to. And then they go and they finish their day, and then they head out. I have noticed, like when we went the one time, Julia, my oldest, was a little too young. She was still 3. She wasn't quite 4 yet, and they don't recommend starting until they're 4. She was very impatient and didn't want to really sit down and stay sitting down. She wanted to get up and go play, and I don't blame her. So it didn't really work out for us in that moment. But it was so good to sit there and hear how they were teaching it. I liked that a lot. So that is something that's very good. But I will tell you that you can find most of that on YouTube. So there's that for you. There are so many like free activities that you can do. Like, the library is always having story times, and I don't know, like I've gone before and done like a cupcake decorating thing that was like a family thing where we all sat down and did cupcake making together. They got VBS, Vacation Bible School, and you can pretty much join any of them whether you go to that church or not. What else? I mean, just Sunday school. Like, my daughter connects with other kids so much on that day, and she talks about them during the week and how she can't wait to go back and see them again. Join a church. If you don't want to listen for yourself, just go there and zone out, I guess, right? But like, maybe you'll learn something if you go and sit. So that's up to you. But anyways, the other myth that I just thought about was I don't have enough time. Like, I have to take care of the house, I have to run errands, I have to do this, I have to do that. I run a full-time daycare, and I found time. I mean, it is a little bit better, or like not better, easier for me because there are other kids. But mind you, I homeschool 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I homeschool 6 kids. So I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it does not take much time to homeschool. I did language arts and math, and the tracing book, we call it the tracing book, and we usually start that at 9:30 and finish at about 10:30. And if for some reason I can't get everybody done, I make sure that I get the kids that can nap done first, and then the kids that don't nap, they get to do it at nap time. I mean, it does not have to be done at 9 in the morning. It can be done whenever it works best for you. They just say that your children learn best first thing in the morning, which is fine. But I noticed that with Julia, when we first started doing this, it was before she was 4, I found that she did better at nap time. It was like she just needed to play and get energy out in the morning, and then at nap time it was like she could start focusing now, and it worked out so much better for us. Many times, like, I just have to get kind of creative. If I notice that my daughter isn't really like super interested that day, I'll make her stand up to do her lessons. She'll have to stand and stand on one foot while we do one part, or she might have to do some jumping jacks and then come back. I've used snacks. Like, she loves gummies, and I don't give them gummies all day long or even days in a row. Like, gummies are not something that is like a big part of my kid's life. So that being said, I use those to my advantage. If she was not like super focused, I would put some gummies up top and I'd be like, listen, if you can do this section, you can eat one of those gummies. If you can answer this right, you can eat one of those gummies. And she did great. When that stopped working, I just switched over to chocolate chips. She couldn't have a ton of chocolate chips, and they were dark chocolate chips too, so I can't believe that she even liked them, but she did. So there was that. And other times it was like just pieces of cereal, like nothing crazy. One time I didn't have anything, so I gave her baby puffs. You know, those little puffs that you give to your baby? I had a bunch of those. And she's always like, can I try one of those? So this time I let her have some of those, and it worked out so well. I was like, if you do your lesson, we can go outside and play. If you do your lesson, we can have a snack. If you do your lesson, we can do this. Like, and she always wanted to, because I made it fun. That's all you have to do, you know? So don't listen to society about whether you should homeschool or not and how it's so hard, because it's not. It's not hard. I was never good at school. I never wanted to sit, and I never wanted to listen, and I never wanted to learn. And now I'm teaching my own kids, and she's wicked smart. She already knows my phone number. She knows all of her shapes. She even said trapezoid the other day, and I was like, dude, I did not teach you that. I don't know where you heard that from. One thing that I did invest in that you don't have to, you do not have to. I did, because it benefited my classroom, was ABC Mouse. I bought that for a year, and my daughter got to do it during nap time, because I had to do other things at nap time, and she was the only non-napper. So at nap time, when she needed to rest for a little bit, she got to play on ABC Mouse, and she had to do learning activities. She couldn't just watch videos and such. And that's what she did. There were times when she was like, Mommy, did you know about the Serengeti? And I was like, what is that? And I had to Google it. Like, this girl is smarter than her own mama. Like, I don't know. It's such a joy to be the one that gets to experience it. And I know what she's learning all day, and I love it. I love it. And when we sit down for dinner, I'll be like, okay, well, tell Daddy what you learned today. And she tells him. It's just so different when it's like your mom teaching you. I feel like they grasp it better. Plus, like, sometimes we'll just pick up everything and we'll go outside and do lessons. And she loves doing that. She loves it. Sometimes we'll do them in her bed, laying down. Like, she thinks that's so funny, and she loves doing that. You just have to get creative. Homeschooling is so much fun, and it's such a joy to me, and I've loved every single second of it. So, like I said, do not listen to society and all of the negative things they say on it, because it's not true. And when you believe that, the more you hear that and the more you say, oh yeah, I bet that's true, the more you believe it. So stop. So I'm going to end this podcast off with a prayer, because that's usually what I do here. And I'm just gonna pour my heart out to God. So I've been really focusing on prayer lately, and I'm actually gonna start a prayer Bible study here soon, and I'm really excited about that. I hope that it helps me be a little bit more confident when I pray, because right now I'm not super confident. I have a really hard time praying, especially in front of people. I don't know why. I just feel like maybe I sound silly, but I don't care anymore, because what I talked about one time with my friend was that I need to start praying like I'm talking to her, because that's how I should be talking to God, is like he's my friend and that he loves me and that I love him and that nothing is going to stop that. So, all right, dear Heavenly Father, I'm just coming to you today to remind myself how great you are, because you are so good. I want to remind all the listeners of how good you are and how you are always there, and you will always give us exactly what we need and not necessarily what we want. If what we want is not good for us, you know, and you are going to give us what we need. God, I just ask you to open up my listeners' hearts to hear your word, and to put on their hearts that homeschooling is not a bad thing, that it is good, and that just instilling your word in our children is the main thing that we should be doing, because so many people don't know you, God. So just please be with everybody. Keep us all safe like you always do. We love you, Jesus. Amen. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you all for listening or watching my podcast. I truly appreciate it. I'm so thankful for every one of you, and for God putting you in my feed, basically, so that you can have a coffee chat with me. If you could please share, like, rate, all the things, follow. It just helps so much, and I truly appreciate in advance. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time for another Coffee Chats with Miss Liz.